This is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other, and that's an airplane. There was no vetting or anything. They came in unvetted, and we have a lot of others in this country. We're going to get them out, but they go cuckoo. Something happens to them.
This week, a deadly shooting near the White House reignited a heated debate, one tangled in facts, politics, and public trust. But recent claims about the identity and background of the suspect, advanced by high-ranking officials, are now under scrutiny. According to reporting by the Daily Beast, the widely circulated narrative that the gunman entered the United States unvetted under the 2021 Afghan evacuation program does not align with official records.
The alleged shooter is Rahmanullah Lakanwal, a 29-year-old Afghan national.
Yes, he was evacuated to the U.S. during the 2021 withdrawal from Afghanistan under Operation Allies Welcome. But truth checkers note, every Afghan under that program was screened by the intelligence agencies, by law enforcement agencies, by counter-terror teams, before being allowed entry. Indeed, Lakanwal's asylum claim was only approved in 2025, under a later administration.
So the claim by Kristi Noem,
echoed by other voices describing him as an unvetted Afghan released under Biden, appears to be factually flawed.
As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national, flown here by the previous administration, who was such a bad administration. And I have a picture of a plane. This is what it looked like when they came in. It was total bedlam. Do you remember that period of time? Total bedlam. People crammed onto the plane. And the toughest, meanest, most capable physically got on the plane, not the people that we were looking for or that they wanted to bring in. Here's a picture for you. Just take a look at that plane. Standing on top of each other and sitting on top of each other. This is what we had under the Biden administration. That whole thing should have never, ever happened. They should have left from a different base. They should have left from Bagram, as you know, and it would have been a much different story. But they didn't do that, and this was just a rout, just a terrible situation. This heinous atrocity reminds us that we have no greater national security priority than ensuring that we have full control over the people that enter and remain in our country. For the most part, we don't want them. They come in illegally. They have a lot of problems. Their countries force them in because their countries are smart. They don't want them. Let's give them to the Americans to take care of it.
That matters, because this case isn't only about one horrific act. It has become a flashpoint, used to justify sweeping critiques of immigration policy, calls for stricter vetting, and a renewed scrutiny of Afghan evacuees in America. But as this fact check reveals, the story is far more complex. This wasn't a case of mass parole without checks. It was a screened, documented arrival approved legally under U.S. asylum laws.
For many Americans, and especially Afghan immigrants, this moment raises difficult questions. About violence, yes, but also about identity, justice, and collective blame. A few times before, we asked, is this individual's crime the story, or the political narrative that follows? Despite grief, anger, and fear, the facts demand clarity. Because once politics twists truth, the consequences can be far deeper than one headline.